Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here. Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you all had a great one. That dumpster fire of a year 2020 is over, but it left us with a lot of really good music. And as you can tell by the title, this is my favorite EPs and demos of 2020. And as usual, this is my list, so it's very subjective. And, you may not agree with some of this stuff, and there may be a lot that I missed, but I can't listen to everything. The first one I'm going to talk about out of this little stack here, and this is all stuff that I've done reviews of, so you can go check out those for my full thoughts on them, is what I believe is the debut demo from the band Putrescine entitled Putrescent Utterance. Really solid death metal out of Germany, definitely worth checking out, as is the latest EP from Enigmatum, Adorned in Wrath, killer blackened death metal out of Portland. Their second full-length album is coming out this year sometime. Then we have Occult with Ceremonial Lifelessness. Great death metal out of Georgia featuring Justin Stubbs, Father Befouled, among others. Then we slide down to Texas for Paingiver and Deorum Mortis. Really good debut EP from this Texas band, as is Everyone's Last Breath by Texas Murder Crew. Heavy as balls, brutal death metal with a nice 3-vocal attack. Then you slide on up to New Jersey for Vivisect and their self-titled debut. I believe this is this is an EP. Really solid stuff. And this one is probably one of my favorites out of the bunch. This is an international act by way of Russia and Spain. This is Slit Your Gods with Dogmatic Convictions of Human Decrepitude. Absolutely killer stuff. As is Coagulate with their debut demo, The Art of Cryptosis. Really solid stuff. Then we go down to the Mississippi, Alabama area for Exaggerate with Chasm of Rapturous Delirium. And finally, all the way up to Canada for Expunged and their new self-titled EP. Very Swedish-inspired death metal, but really solid stuff. Now, onto the stuff that I didn't do reviews for. This is Fleshrot with their debut demo. Really solid Texas death metal with these crushing, heavy guitars, a nice thick bass, and low growls mixed with these really sickening screams. Absolutely worth checking out. As is this filthy piece of death metal from Colorado. This is Phthisis with Embodiment of Decay. Low, deep growls combined with these retching screams added in, backed by just heavy yet very catchy guitar work. Definitely worth checking out. We have Evulse with their second demo, Pestilent Spawn, death metal out of California. Basically what you get here is some low rumbling bass with these fast pick guitars that are sometimes slowed down to a nice heavy crunching parts with some really great whammy bar solos, and topped up with low end growls and these just absolutely maniacal screams. Really solid stuff. Getting more filthy and nasty with the UK's Cryptworm and their reeking gunk of abhorrence. As I said, this is just down and dirty death metal with vocals that are slightly reminiscent of Anti-Bowman from Demilich. Really nasty stuff, really worth checking out. Then we have Vermint with Sinister. These guys are an Ohio death metal band. This is their second EP, and on this you basically get razor sharp guitars with just the right amount of punch to them, solid drum work with some really good blast beats, and just a nice sick mid-range growl, and just these screams that are just absolutely maddening and sickening. Really good stuff. Another one that I did not have a physical copy of is Wormatorium, and this is a Ukrainian death metal band. Debut demo is just basically solid old school death metal with a very prominent twangy bass tone, nice guitar work with some really solid solos, and deep, almost downright guttural growls. Absolutely killer stuff. As is Visceral Mass with their debut EP, self-titled. Whew, I heard a lot of good stuff about this, and it all lived up to all the hype. This is just filthy, crunchy death metal with low-end growls and a heavy, prominent bass as its backbone. Really good stuff. Lives up to all the hype that it got. Definitely check this one out. And then we have Carnal Ruin with The Damned Lie Rotting. Some more Florida death metal here. This is the band's second EP, and basically this is just old school sounding death metal with some really killer bass work, very prominent in the mix. Slightly thrashy guitar work with some nice crunch to it now and then, with some really great solos. The drums, really solid, as I should say, as well. It has a nice, like, mid-range growl as far as the vocals go, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Peter Tackren or maybe even Nick Holmes on the latest Bloodbath, to kind of give you an idea of what they sound like. Next up, Aborted with La Grande Masquerade. I mean, this Belgian death metal crew's been around for a while. You know what to expect with Aborted. This is just fast, heavy, and chaotic. Just everything you'd want from Aborted, all on one little EP. I cannot wait for them to release a new album. And last but not least, the latest one from Carcass. This is Despicable. And again, a band that really needs no introduction. These guys are a legendary band as far as grindcore and melodic death metal goes. And this EP is so freaking good. It is heavy, yet it's catchy. And it has, Walker's unmistakable vocals on it. Yeah, I really like this a lot better than a lot of the material on their last full length. So if the new one that's coming out is anything like this, I think we're in for a real treat. So yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. And until next time, stay brutal.